Welcome to the next section of the Benzinga Pro Education course. And in this section, I'm going to show you how you can actually use the signals tool to trade. What I have here is one of my workspaces that is set up to monitor my portfolio. So what I have in here is my watch list that I have linked to my broker, as we talked about from the watch list section. And then I also have a watch list applied to the newsfeed tool and the signals tool down here at the bottom. Now I have an options calendar open in here, and I do not have the watch list filter applied to the options calendar because I like to use this tool in a way where I can look up different stocks. So oftentimes I will just go ahead and type the stock in the top of the calendar as opposed to having the watch list filter. Now, as far as the signals tool goes, we talked about in the last section how some of the signals can be chatty or just simply too much information. Price spike can be one of those. Because I've applied a watch list filter to signals, I'm now realizing that not a whole lot of information is being pumped through here. So I can actually increase the number of signals that I'm looking at in the same signals window. In this case, for this particular workspace, I do have price spike turned on. I want to see if any of the stocks that I own are spiking at any point. I also have block trades on. I definitely want to know about when some of the big block prints are going off. That can tell me if an institution or a larger position is either being taken or liquidated in a name that I hold. That can be an important information. And then on top of that, I also have this set up to capture 52-week highs and 52-week lows about the stocks on my watch list. So this just helps me view what's going on with the stocks that I'm actually holding a position in here. Now I have another one that I want to show you, another instance, and this is actually part of the power of the signals tool. You don't need to just have one. In fact, I've gone ahead and added the signals tool to my scanner workspace, which I use, I would say, most of the day. I generally keep this open as the scanner continually works. In addition to having the scanner, I've basically turned on option activity, block trade, and halt and resume. Now, it's important to note that I do not have any watch list filter applied to any of these tools, especially signals, because what I'm trying to do in this workspace is find new opportunities to trade, and I don't necessarily want to limit that to stocks on my watch list at this time. What's great about this is that in addition to setting up different filters here for my scanner, I can also keep an eye on the signals tool. It doesn't require any input or work. It's just working there in the background. So if I see a flood of different tickers in here, that might mean, okay, I need to click on that, take a look and see what the chart says and see if there's any news that's actually affecting this move. In this particular tool, I have just 3 signals selected. I have option activity, block trade, and halt and resume. Here is a stock that has been active all day. It just halted here. When I clicked on it, I can see on the intraday 1-minute chart, this thing really fell off a cliff. Nasty $1 pull from a 10.55 down to 10.59. Almost exactly $1 in 1 minute. That is absolutely volatile. That went ahead and triggered the halt. And even though I'm giving this instructional lesson, I was able to see that simply by glancing down at the signals tool and then clicking on the ticker. In this particular case, I'm not in AERC and I'm not looking to catch a falling knife, but an event like that might trigger me to say, you know what, this is a stock that you need to watch, either out of the halt or see if there's another setup happening here. The key takeaway from the signals tool is that you can mold it to do whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to look at price spikes or block trades or option activity, you can do that. And if you want to apply filters, you can do that too. It's great because you can just let it sit there and it will just run. You can interact with it as much or as little as needed.